Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. The buzz around Los Angeles right now is not about a dramatic late-inning home run or a lights-out performance from the bullpen, but rather about the man who has been steering the ship for nearly a decade. Whispers have started to gain strength that Dave Roberts, the manager who led the Dodgers to a World Series title in 2020 and kept the team consistently competitive year after year, is preparing to leave at the end of the season. It is not just a rumor floating around in the back corners of baseball talk shows. People inside the clubhouse, close to the organization, are starting to drop hints that this could be the end of an era. Imagine that. After all the highs and lows, the walk-off celebrations, the heartbreaks in October, and the endless debates about pitching changes, the Dodgers could soon be looking at a dugout without Roberts. Fans who have grown used to seeing him stand stoically on the top step, chewing gum and calculating his next move, are suddenly faced with a scenario that feels almost unreal. And yet, every day the speculation grows louder, and it is becoming harder to dismiss. For so long, Dave Roberts has been a symbol of continuity in a sport where managers can be hired and fired at the drop of a hat. When the Dodgers stumbled in the postseason, as they often did despite record-breaking regular seasons, there were always critics calling for change, pointing fingers at his bullpen decisions or his lineups. But year after year, the front office stood by him, arguing that his steady hand, his ability to manage a clubhouse full of stars and egos, and his connection with players made him indispensable. Now, however, the narrative has shifted. Instead of debating whether Roberts deserves to stay, insiders are quietly acknowledging that he has already decided to go. It is not about performance anymore. It is about timing, legacy, and maybe the personal toll that comes with the pressure cooker of managing the Dodgers. The weight of expectation in Los Angeles is enormous, and carrying that for nearly a decade can wear anyone down. Perhaps Roberts is simply ready for a new chapter. What makes this rumor so fascinating is the way it has trickled into every corner of Dodger fandom. At first, it was just a passing comment during a late-night radio show, the kind of thing that fans would usually dismiss. But then came whispers from local reporters, vague but suggestive, noting Roberts' unusually reflective tone in recent interviews. He has spoken about gratitude, about enjoying the moment, about how special this group of players is, and those words now sound less like standard coach speak and more like someone preparing to say goodbye. The players, too, seem to sense something in the air. Veterans who have battled alongside Roberts for years talk about wanting to send him out the right way, while younger players express how much they've learned under his leadership. Even without an official announcement, the atmosphere has shifted into something more sentimental. Fans are beginning to interpret every dugout shot, every post-game press conference, as a possible farewell gesture, and that only fuels the fire of speculation even further. Of course, nothing is official yet, and that is what makes the rumor both maddening and electrifying for fans. The Dodgers front office remains tight-lipped, as they always do in situations like this. When asked, executives deflect, insisting the focus is on the current season, on trying to win another championship. But if Roberts has indeed made up his mind, then it does not matter what the front office wants, because he holds the key to his own future. And this is not a manager who will be out of work if he steps down. Every team in Major League Baseball knows his resume, his leadership qualities, his calm under pressure. If Roberts does walk away from Los Angeles, there will be at least a handful of clubs lining up to court him. That possibility only makes his rumored departure more intriguing, because fans are left to wonder, is this truly goodbye, or is it simply the end of one chapter before the beginning of another somewhere else? For Dodgers fans, the idea of a future without Dave Roberts is both frightening and exciting. On the one hand, there is comfort in continuity. Roberts has been the face of the dugout for so long that his presence feels permanent, like Vin Scully's voice once did over the airwaves. Replacing him would mean a cultural shift, a different approach, and nobody knows if that would bring better results or simply disrupt the rhythm of a team that has consistently been among the league's elite. On the other hand, change always carries a spark of possibility. A new manager could bring fresh strategies, new energy, and maybe, just maybe, the postseason magic that sometimes eluded Roberts despite all his success. That duality, that mix of fear and excitement, is what keeps the rumor alive and makes it the dominant storyline around Dodger Stadium right now. Even in the middle of a heated playoff race, fans can't stop talking about what comes next. The longer this goes on, the more it feels like an inevitable truth rather than baseless gossip. Roberts' body language, the tone of the players, the coded comments from broadcasters who clearly know more than they're saying, all of it points toward an ending. And endings are always emotional. This is not just about baseball. It is about identity, about change, about letting go of a figure who has shaped the Dodgers' modern era. Whether you love him or criticize him, you cannot deny the stability and success he brought. And if this really is his final season in Dodger blue, then every game from here on out becomes part of farewell tour, even if it is an unofficial one. That means each win will carry a little more weight, each loss will sting a little deeper, and each October night will feel more like the last dance of a man who gave everything he had to this franchise. If Roberts does step away, the biggest question hovering over the organization is simple. Who comes next? The Dodgers are not just any franchise. They're a global brand, a perennial contender, and the crown jewel of the National League West. Whoever takes over must inherit not only a roster full of superstars, but also the suffocating expectation of winning it all every single year. Rumors have already begun to swirl about possible candidates, from high-profile former players to innovative bench coaches currently working under the radar. Some fans dream of a dramatic hire, someone like a recently retired star who could bring charisma and media buzz. Others argue that stability is key, pointing to internal candidates who already understand the Dodgers culture. The front office has built a reputation for methodical decisions, so it is unlikely they will act rashly. But even with no official vacancy yet, speculation is dominating every conversation, and fans are drawing up wish lists as if they were running the team themselves. Whoever follows Roberts will face the unenviable task of stepping into a shadow that looms incredibly large over Dodger Stadium. Beyond the Dodgers themselves, the ripple effect of Roberts leaving would shake the entire league. Baseball is a sport where managerial talent is constantly recycled, with familiar names hopping from one dugout to another. But Roberts is not just another manager. He is one of the rare few who has built a reputation for balancing analytics with a genuine feel for the game, for keeping a star-studded clubhouse unified, and for handling relentless media scrutiny with calm composure. If he becomes available, several teams struggling with leadership would immediately circle his name. Clubs in rebuilding phases, organizations desperate for stability, or even contenders who feel they are one piece away from breaking through could all become suitors. That possibility makes this rumor even more tantalizing, because the baseball world would not just be watching the Dodgers. It would be watching to see how quickly Roberts lands somewhere else, and how his decision reshapes the balance of power across the majors. Few managers carry that kind of weight, and Roberts is firmly in that category. Inside the clubhouse, the players' reactions could be one of the clearest signs that something is brewing. Veterans who have known Roberts for years are suddenly speaking in tones that sound more like farewells than casual comments. Younger stars talk openly about how much he has taught them, almost as if they're already reflecting on his legacy rather than focusing strictly on the games ahead. It is subtle, but you can feel it, a sense of appreciation mixed with impending loss. In baseball, where superstitions and routines dominate daily life, players rarely shift into sentimental mode unless they sense change is coming. That collective mood only fuels the speculation. If Roberts does confirm his departure at season's end, his players will likely rally around him, using the possibility of his final campaign as motivation. It would not be surprising to see the team play with extra fire, determined to give their manager one more deep October run, not just for themselves, but as a tribute to the man who guided them through so many battles. That dynamic could turn an ordinary season into something unforgettable. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. For the fans, this is an emotional roller coaster that has no brakes. Los Angeles supporters are fiercely loyal, and while Roberts has often been a lightning rod for criticism during playoff disappointments, even his harshest critics seem to be softening now that his departure feels imminent. Social media is flooded with mixed emotions. Gratitude posts thanking him for the 2020 championship and years of consistency, alongside nervous speculation about what a new era might look like. The attachment between a fan base and a manager is different from the bond with players, but it is powerful nonetheless. Roberts became a familiar face, a steady presence during good times and bad, and replacing that will not be easy. If this is indeed his final act with the Dodgers, the farewell will be one of the most emotional moments in recent franchise history. Fans are already preparing themselves for it, even as they cling to hope that he might stay. That emotional push and pull is what makes this rumor so compelling, because it goes beyond baseball. It taps into identity, tradition, and the human side of the game. From a broader perspective, the Dodgers stand at a crossroads. With a roster built to win now, the organization cannot afford a prolonged adjustment period under a new manager. That is why Roberts' decision, if confirmed, would be so consequential. The front office has built a powerhouse designed to dominate not just for one season, but for years to come. The manager is the final piece of that puzzle, the person tasked with blending analytics, strategy, and personalities into a winning formula. Losing Roberts means reshuffling that equation entirely. Some argue that fresh leadership could be exactly what this team needs to unlock another championship or two. Others caution that disrupting the balance could backfire, undoing the stability Roberts maintained. Either way, the Dodgers are about to face one of the most important decisions in their recent history, and all of it is tied to the man who may soon walk away. That uncertainty creates tension, drama, and anticipation, exactly the kind of atmosphere baseball thrives on, especially in a city like Los Angeles. As the season winds down, every pitch, every lineup card, and every post-game press conference will carry extra meaning. Fans will watch Roberts more closely than ever, dissecting his words, his body language, even the way he interacts with his players. The Dodgers' playoff run, should they make it deep into October, will feel like it comes with an extra layer of weight, as if the team is chasing not just a championship, but also closure for their departing leader. If Roberts does leave, his legacy in Los Angeles is already secure. He delivered a World Series, oversaw countless division titles, and gave the franchise nearly a decade of stability. Yet the way this final season ends will define how he is remembered. A deep playoff run could cement him as a hero, while another early exit might leave fans wondering what could have been. Either way, the story is no longer just about wins and losses. It is about endings, beginnings, and the emotional connection between city, a team, and the man who led them through it all. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.